Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Talking Reds, and we have a special episode, which we are going to do weekly. We're going to do weekly because myself and Rhys, Arsenal fan, Liverpool fan, coming together. Title race is heating up. Title race is on, and it's getting to the business end of the season. And myself and Rhys thought, you know what? Let's make a little episode of this. Let's do a weekly episode. Arsenal Liverpool fans coming together, talk about the week's events, talk about what happened previously, what's coming up, the fixtures coming up. And who's going to win the title? Who's going to win the Premier League title? That's the question everyone wants to know. That's the question that is going to be answered in the next few months. Arsenal has started to show a bit more mentality. I didn't think they had it. Honestly, Reece, I didn't think they had it, but they did have. They showed a little bit of mentality, and we lost our heads the other night a little bit in the going to derby. But Reece, introduce yourself to the Liverpool fans. Introduce yourself.
Hey, Liverpool fans. I'm sure a lot of you may know me by now. Obviously, halftime Hawks. I'm the greatest gooner that ever did live, and I'm just here to talk up title race. I'm one of the Arsenal fans that get slated quite a bit because I think that there's still a chance that we can win this league, even even with all of the injuries. I'm not going to go and use the injuries as an excuse. But it is heating up. I am a fan that I finally get to have a title race with someone that's not Manchester City. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Liverpool fans that feel the same way as well. It's always Manchester City and insert here. But now it's the red cartel members going head to head for the league, and I guess we'll see game week 38 who actually has the metal to go and win it.
It's the real clubs, isn't it? That's what it is. It's the real
Yeah,
clubs.
yeah, yeah.
It's not cheating yourself up to the top. Um, but you said that there though about the Man City thing because I saw like a few months ago, it must have been about 2-3 months ago, some Arsenal fans saying, at least it's Liverpool trying to catch up here. At least it's Liverpool,
Yeah.
and I'm sort of thinking slyly, but I'm not going to put it out there. I'm not disrespecting Arsenal like that. At least it's not Man City catching us up because of the mentality that you have shown. But like I said, you showed it everywhere. The game against Wolves was a different mentality from Arsenal, a mentality that I've not seen, as in like grinding out a result like that when everything went against you. You haven't been doing that. If you start showing that, then it is a different team chasing us. What do you think of that dynamic? Because it isn't City. Is it still that respect needs to be there, doesn't it? Really?
So I'm happy as an Arsenal fan that I'm not chasing Manchester City, because if I was chasing Manchester City, then I probably would have thrown the towel in when we drew 0-0 to Everton. On the flip side, I imagine there's a lot of Liverpool fans, maybe even majority of Liverpool fans, that are happy that it's not Manchester City
Mm.
chasing them, because let's be honest, Arsenal have more than enough ability to go do something stupid and completely throw it away. Like, it's not the same as like Manchester City, who it's like win, 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 win. Like, Arsenal are going to drop points. I think the most important thing, and I guess this applies to both teams, is when one of us drops points, does the other capitalize and either close the gap or run away with it? That's
Yeah.
going to be the most important thing, I think, in this title race. Like, there there was a lot of because the thing is, yeah, is as an Arsenal fan, it's funny because I don't feel like I'm just in a race with Liverpool. I feel like I'm in a title race with everybody bar Everton fans. Because it's it, and maybe a few Manchester United fans that didn't grow up in Manchester and hate Arsenal just a tiny bit more than they hate Liverpool. But it really does feel like everybody wants Liverpool to win the league and nobody wants Arsenal to win the league, because they know what's going to happen if Arsenal wins the league. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to have to go into hiding, because we will not let them forget all of the things that they have been saying along the way. So yeah, it does feel like it feels like I'm Leonidas going up against the Persians, and I've only got 300 men to fight like 100,000, because it does seem like everyone's against us. But yeah, man, I'm just happy that it's not. And that's, do you know what? me being happy that it's not Manchester City is not a slight on Liverpool. It's just I know that there's more chance of Liverpool dropping points than Manchester City dropping points, as history has shown us over the last few seasons.
I feel that because we're the ones that have been up against Man City in these title races, so we know what it takes to go head to head against them. We know that you literally can't drop any points at all at any point, especially this time of the season. They go on like ridiculous winning runs, and people get too caught up in that sort of mindset of you got to win every single week. But that was never been the case until like Man City came and Jurgen Klopp sort of lifted Liverpool to that level as well. That was never the case in Premier League. It was always like a point away to Goodison would have been a good point usually, and that for me that is a good point. And I'm not basing it on the Man City towers because it's a completely different time. You literally had to win every single week, 100 points. You're not going to get 100 points. There's a possibility we might do, but it's not likely. So these two teams, they're not perfect teams. If I'm absolutely honest, we're not perfect teams. We've got big issues. Arsenal have got big issues. They've got attacks. Sometimes our defence is a bit dodgy. You know, we didn't buy a DM in midfield for midfield, and I think both clubs are sort of run quite similarly, where they don't do enough in the transfer window to back the manager, but they've got good managers that can get the best out of the players anyway. So it is a good title race. It's probably the perfect title race for the teams that are in it. And I'm glad Man City have dropped off because it has made this title race what it is. And we can't rest on our laurels, if I'm honest. And I'm not going to go out there and say, oh yeah, it's just Arsenal chasing us and this and that. They've got all these injuries. They're out of the title race. Liverpool should win it now. I'm old enough and wise enough and seen enough football to know that is never the case. And the amount of times Liverpool fans have had their hopes up for certain things and never win. We won one title in 30 years. I've seen one Premier League title in 30 years. So I'm not going to count my chickens until the chickens actually are visible to see. But yeah, it starts this weekend though for me. I think that game midweek. How do you see that game as midweek though? Was that a big positive for you, or was that just it literally was 6 points to 7 points clear? We have got an extra point on the board.
So I don't know how much it actually impacts the title race. I'll be completely honest. I don't know how much it impacts you guys, to be completely fair. Like I already, like, before the game I was like, yeah, Liverpool, yeah, they're gonna win this. Like, it just seemed too good to be true that they wouldn't win it. I saw Everton go ahead. I was like, oh, okay, I did not expect this. And then obviously you guys came back pretty quickly as well. I think it was within 5 minutes you guys leveled up. And then when you guys took the lead I think it was the second half, you guys took the lead. I was like,
Again,
yeah, I was like, oh, okay, Liverpool just done Liverpool things. And I was like, I stopped watching the game at, like, I think around the 82nd minute. And I went on, did live stuff. I'm washing the dishes, and as I'm washing the dishes, I'm like, I checked my football app because I saw a notification. I was like, what notification? I was like, okay, and I checked, like, 2-2. Whoa, what happened here? And I was looking at, I was like, 98th minute. Like, why did the game go on so long for that to even be the case? And then obviously I came back upstairs and I saw the aftermath, and the aftermath of that game seemed very very unlike Liverpool. Like, usually Liverpool are very calm, very cool, very collected, always have that kind of air of confidence. Even when you have dropped points before, it's always been like, yeah, cool, we just jump back on the horse and go again. And usually you right your wrongs immediately. But maybe because it was Everton, maybe because it was the final derby at Goodison Park, maybe there was a bit of extra tension. Maybe the way that you actually dropped the points, maybe there was an extra bit of tension. But as a Arsenal fan, I'm now looking at that going, I always knew you would drop points, and it's happened. All the people telling me it wouldn't happen, it's happened. Now, what that actually means in the grand scheme of things, I think we find out this game week. Because this game week, I imagine you guys are gonna absolutely wipe the floor with Wolves, like absolutely destroy them at Anfield. But should you not, that will show the kind of,
Yeah.
I guess, the cracks and the weakness in the mentality that I speak about when I say I'd rather it be Liverpool I'm chasing than Manchester City. Obviously, we've got the 12:30 kickoff tomorrow, and we all know 12:30 kickoffs don't always favor the favorite. It's usually a
You're telling
time
the wrong person there, mate. You're telling the wrong person. I don't know what 12:30 kickoff is.
so so yeah, we will see how both teams react to what happened to Liverpool in midweek. Like, I expect both teams to get a win, but if both teams, or if either of the teams don't get a win, then it starts to make it a bit more interesting both ways, right? So yeah, man, let's see what will happen. I won't lie, I didn't jump off my seat or anything when I found out it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
3-2.
yeah.
I did do the little
Yeah, I get it though. I get it. I get it. You're like, yeah, it feels like they are starting to, because like you said, this season I've been saying it all season on here that the mentality monster sort of ideas coming back
yeah,
mentally this season. No matter what's been thrown at us, we've come back, and it felt like that same again against Everton. 1-0 down, goes to Park, they're up for it. We come back, win 2-1. Mohamed Salah saved us again, and yeah, it felt like not the wheels came off. It was like, you know when the Formula One car gets into the pits,
yeah,
it felt like they were just ready to take the wheels off.
yeah,
That sort of process of the wheels coming off, but it might just be a false. They might not be not wrong with the wheels. Don't know yet, but there's like a little. I think it's that glimmer of hope as Arsenal fans you probably wanted to see. You're starting to see it. It's like, yeah, and that you're sort of hanging on to that now. But I get it. I get it because I've been doing the exact same. Like, if I see Arsenal in the situation and they drew against Tottenham away, having got 2-1 up, I think, hang on a second. It just sort of makes you sit up in your seat, wouldn't it? That's what
yeah,
it does. It makes you sit up in your seat and think, just take notice.
yeah,
And that's exactly what happened. And yeah, I do feel. I don't feel there's a massive dent. I don't feel we literally went from 6 points to 7 points clear. We went further clear. But I just think it was a mentality thing and a sort of like, yeah, hang on, there's like a little doubt coming in here. And that if that continues to go, if that could escalate, we've seen it. I said it regarding Chelsea. I said Chelsea lose one game. If they don't win after like 1-2 games, that could turn into 5, 6, 7, 8 games. And that's exactly what happened to Chelsea. They're now in like a top whatever they want to be in, Conference League battle instead of a top 4 battle. But yeah, instead of a title race, and that's what can happen in this league, and that's what can happen. I don't think we will crash. We won't ever drop off like Chelsea did or like Man City have. But with these hard games coming up, that slight doubt and that slight worry couldn't enter the minds of these players. And Slot is normally calm.
yeah.
I've never seen Slot lose his head, and he lost his head, and he'll be banned now for 2 games, which will probably be Aston Villa and Man City. I think because I think they're waiting until Monday to really. So it will be banned for them too. But yeah, you've got Leicester tomorrow at 12. What's it feel like playing at 12? I haven't seen anyone else play at 12 for a long time. So it feels like. I mean, but it's a perfect game to win. I've always said this. It's a perfect game to win, but it's the worst game to lose.
Yeah.
If you lose that, you're watching the rest of the Premier League like do whatever they do. If you win that, you can just sit back, popcorn. Are you confident?
Yeah. Oh, I'm very confident. It's Leicester. I mean, if I can't be confident against Leicester as an Arsenal fan, then I might as well
Yeah.
hang my boots up now and just call it quits and stop caring about the league. Like, I I think I think it's the best time to be playing 12:30, but especially what happened to Liverpool, because
Yeah,
now
I get that. Yeah.
if we win, we're 4 points behind. That could creep into the minds of the players. Like, not saying that it 100% will, but it does add an extra bit of pressure that may make Slot overthink that may make the players overthink and maybe not play the way they usually play and make mistakes they wouldn't usually make because it's a lot different to like it could have been 9 points and
Yeah,
Arsenal win that
yeah,
game and it's
yeah,
six
yeah.
points and it's like okay they're still a bit away but 4 points just like we're right down your neck like you can feel
Mm.
us like we're when you're driving and like you look in your mirror and there's like a car right
Someone following
behind
you.
you.
There's
Yeah,
someone
and you're like,
following you.
yeah. That's literally
Bandana over the face. You're like, oh, what's going on here now?
yeah, exactly. Like so I would have been a lot less confident if it was a team that was just even if it was just a tiny bit higher than Leicester in the like even if it was like a Crystal Palace or I don't
Oh,
know
yeah,
even
yeah.
at Everton like I would be like ooh I don't know it being away does pose a different challenge but we've we've actually been better away from home this season so then even again that kind of works in our favor a tiny bit obviously we're down to bare bones in our forward line so it's going to be interesting to see how Arteta sets up and it's going to be interesting how I guess first that first stage experimentation without Havertz as an option, without Martinelli, and without Saka all in the forward line, how that's going to look and how that plays out. And if if whatever he experiments with works a lot better than what a lot of us Arsenal fans would predict, then I think that's going to give us a whole new lease of life and give us that whole extra boost believing again. Because I do think a lot of Arsenal fans saw the injury to Havertz and went, okay, cool, we're done. Like a lot of Arsenal fans probably went, throw the towel in.
I don't get that though. I don't get that because Havertz haven't really been picking up trees. He's quite key in what you do in terms of attack, but you need a goal scorer, and I would trust the young lads over Havertz right now scoring goals. That the way Ethan's on the way he's playing with confidence. I trust him more than Havertz to get some out of some. And I think I've predicted. I did a Premier League predictions this morning. I predicted a 3-0 Arsenal because I think all this talk about your attacking line, you're missing this, missing that. But I think Leicester are that bad, and I think you will go there and make a statement. If I'm honest, I think that's what will happen. And I think it could be a good thing that Havertz is out because you've got to be forced to play a different way potentially. And I think that could suit you. You might have to probably play an in behind striker, which I think would suit you more, if I'm honest. Especially like you've got Odegaard that can feed the ball, but then you've got Rice in midfield. It's quite solid midfield. You don't need that. You don't need anyone else like Havertz to drop back in that. I think it's too much in that area. If you have someone that can get behind the defence a little bit more, I think it does. I think it does help you a lot more. I do. And I can't see Leicester getting anything.
I think that what I think we'll most likely do, and I this is me just like trying to be a bit logical, is I imagine we would go Ethan Wanyeri on the right, Trossard through the middle, and then on the left, I think we play Sterling. That's what I think is the most logical thing that we would
What
do.
about Sterling up front? I know he's old, but he probably can get behind potentially.
It's an option. So you're right, Sterling. Okay, so Sterling could play because I think what game was it? I think it was Girona. No, what game was it? Was it Girona? There was a game where Sterling was playing, and then I think Havertz came. Something happened. I think there was a moment where we saw Sterling in the nine, and I didn't really think about that ever being a potentiality. So you're right. Maybe he could go with Sterling through the middle, but
I'm just thinking more of unless he wants to still play the same way with Havertz, which with Trossard would probably work a bit more because he's more of a not defensive minded, but he's not a fast player that runs in behind. I would put Wanyeri up front if I'm honest. I would do that, and I put Sterling out right.
oh, that
And
could that
with the confidence that he's got right now, and
yeah.
the way he's attacking the goal, and the way he cuts into, then again, his cutting side's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
But just the confidence that he's feeling, and I say, look, go for it, lad. It's a perfect game to start it and all with that.
It would actually be the just it okay. Saying perfect time is a bit weird because we're in a
In
very
terms of
dark
Leicester, in
time.
terms of being Leicester, that's what I meant. It's
Yeah,
like a if you're going to choose any team in the league to just experiment this
yeah,
with, it
yeah,
would be like
yeah,
Leicester, Southampton, Ipswich, if that makes sense.
yeah. No, that's and Raheem Sterling's best position is the right. Trossard's best position is the left.
Left.
So maybe having the senior players in their more favored positions, and then the youngster who no fear, full of confidence, just go to him. Hey, just see what it's like playing as the 9 and see what happens. And probably against Leicester is where he'll have the most luck, if any luck at all. And I guess is yeah. I mean, at any point in the game, he could just go, you know what, Wanyeri move over to the left and Trossard come into the middle, or Wanyeri move
Yeah,
over
you
to
can
the
always
right
change it.
and
Yeah,
Sterling come into the middle. So he's not going to be landlocked in the 9 if he does play there. Our players are pretty like fluid. We do positionally move around quite a lot, and players do interchange quite a lot. So I don't think he has that sort of pressure that like, oh my god, I'm walking into the 9. I'm going to be 9. I'm going to be in the 9 for the whole game. I have to be
yeah.
bold. So yeah, do you know what? That's given me food for thought for my match preview that I do later on. So I am gonna
You
explore.
weren't thinking that way. You weren't thinking that,
Yeah,
but yeah.
I wasn't. I'm gonna
You know what?
explore that.
We've actually got attacking issues now. Gakpo is out.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've heard that. Gakpo's out, so that would mean Diaz on the left. And we've got Nunes up top.
yeah.
We'll swap Nunes if you want. We'll have whatever you can give us. You can have Nunes. But yeah, it looks like we're gonna have Nunes up top. Diaz on the left. Diaz is playing poor as well. He's been poor since the turn of the year. That looks to me then we're relying on Salah again to get us goals because Nunes not capable at the moment. Diaz is just really off at the moment. Gakpo's the only one that really stepped up in terms of goals, apart from Salah, in terms of the front lot. So, and then we've got Jota, who's not reliable, unless Jota plays. Unless Jota plays,
I would imagine
and it
Jota.
is against Wolves. It is against Wolves as well.
I would imagine Jota would start personally.
Yeah, that's giving me a little bit more hope than Nunes at the time. It just we've got a day left yet until we play Wolves, so it's Jota staying fit for another day is what I need to hope on. But yeah, I think we've both got pretty much winnable games certainly this weekend. I think we should be
Yeah,
both winning. But again, the week after, that's when I start to panic a little bit. Also, we've got Villa midweek.
yeah.
And it's not a game in hand, is it? It's been moved on it because of
I think it'll be a game in hand.
we ain't got a game in hand now.
No, but I mean, I think everyone will have a game in hand on Liverpool.
Oh yeah, they will do. Yeah, well, when we played Aston Villa, that's even worse. That's even worse because if you win, go 4 points behind, and if we drop points and we've got Villa away, you've got a game in hand over us as well, and then we've got City away the week after and the weekend after. Who have you got a week after? Let's have a look. West Ham at home. See,
Yeah.
West Ham have actually turned the corner a little bit. They're actually looking a bit better, but you're at home.
I think
Then you got
at home, I
then
think we'll do them at home. I
then
think.
you got Forest away.
See, that's the hard one. But we play
Yeah.
Forest when you play Manchester City, right?
No. Week after we got Newcastle at home that week.
Okay, so that Newcastle at home is that's going to
It's
be
not an easy game either. No,
a tricky game.
no,
So
not at all.
we've both got not the hardest of periods, but we do have that 1 or 2 games coming up pretty quickly. That's like
Iffy,
this will tell. Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. What I've predicted, at least for your next 3 games, is you'll beat Wolves. You will draw. Well, sorry. Well, on my predictions show, I predicted you to lose to Aston Villa because I'm trying to just get the energies out there in the world so you can start losing games. But if
Right. Okay.
I'm being realistic, I think you'll probably draw to Villa, and then I think you'll draw to Newcastle as well.
What about City?
Is that the Etihad, right?
Yep.
Oh, it's a hard one to call. You don't do too well over at the Etihad, do you?
No. Well, it's a different City side, isn't it? Normally, so
Yeah.
it's hard to predict, isn't it? Because you don't. It's a City side that are shit, are they? They're not the same. They're not the same City side. So yeah.
You know what? I think I need to wait to see how these next few games go. Especially, I need to see how the next few games go for City as well, because I think that will tell a lot for that game as well. I think you're capable of beating them, but again, I think probably the most realistic result is probably a draw.
Man, this title race it's starting now. It's literally starting to heat up now. But this is going to be a long rest of the season. You know, it's going to be a long season, and you're in a good position because you're chasing. The pressure's not on you right now. But I don't want if we fucking lose this title. I swear down. I'm gonna be livid if we lose this title from the position we're in.
Yeah.
No, I'll be livid, and especially the injuries you've got as well.
Yeah.
And oh no. I'm not like other fans, Liverpool fans. Are like say, oh, Arteta's this. Arteta's done a brilliant job, by the way. I've always said that. Yes, he needs to get over the line now, and I think he has made many mistakes. But every manager Klopp made mistakes.
Yeah.
He's not a perfect manager. I think if he don't get you over the line this season, I think I would look at it. But you've got to credit him where credit's due from what he has done and the progress you as a banter club. Just like we were banter club when Jurgen Klopp took over. But yeah, he's got to win that. He's got to win, and he's done it this season without a striker. Whether that's on him, Edu, the board. I know the Kroenkes are quite similar to FSG. They're just money minded. They want to save money as much as they can.
Yeah.
They're willing to go transfer windows without. We've got 2 transfer windows without buying anyone now, apart from Chiesa, in the bargain bin. So I feel like Liverpool and Arsenal are quite similar. And I said it earlier actually to someone. I think Arsenal now in the same situation we was in 2021 when we got the Buzz injuries.
Yeah.
But we didn't. We went into that season with 3 centre backs, 2 of them injury prone, and we complained about injuries. That makes no sense. We brought that upon ourselves. We didn't get prepared. You this season haven't prepared with a striker. You haven't bolstered the attacking lineup. You've relied on youngsters, which we did. But you're still up there in the second place. We dropped off. We was in the title race and we dropped off, and we somehow managed to get third. But yeah, I think it is probably the 2 best clubs to go for the title now in terms of the fan bases.
Yeah.
In terms of having both gone at City in the last few years, I want this proper rivalry.
Yeah.
And I feel like I see it now with Arsenal.
Yeah.
And Liverpool fans out there be like, we ain't got a rivalry with Arsenal, we've got rivalry with Man City. It's a rivalry, and I think it will start to show as the title goes on. But yeah, this is the first episode of our new episode with myself and Rhys. If you haven't followed him, follow me on Halftime Hooks on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. Brilliant content creator out there. So me and him are going to be doing this hopefully weekly to catch up on the latest results, the upcoming fixtures, Liverpool, Arsenal in a big title race. By the way, Forest fans, if you want to come on as a third title member, absolutely fine by me. But I think that without disrespecting Forest, I think I hope you get Champions League football for you. But I think the title race is between Liverpool and Arsenal specifically. So this is why we've set this up. So thank you for watching. Make sure you do like this video, subscribe to the channel, and get notification bells on as well. And see you next week, guys. See you next week, Rhys, as well.